Phil Mickelson has survived almost everything golf could throw at a man's reputation. Gambling debts that followed him for years. Insider trading allegations that put his name next to a federal investigation. Comments about Saudi Arabia, so explosive they cost him sponsors overnight. Every single time, he found a way back. He talked his way through it, played his way through it, smiled his way through it. But what has unfolded over the last several weeks might be the one chapter Phil Mickelson can't smile his way out of. Here's what we know and what we don't. According to Golf Digest, which broke the story after an extensive investigation, a female employee at the Farms Golf Club in Rancho Santa Fe, California, accused Mickelson of nonconsensual and inappropriate physical contact with her in the clubhouse before a round of golf earlier this spring. The employee rejected his advances, then reported it to her supervisors. The club says it acted immediately, opened an investigation, located Mickelson while he was still out on the course, and confronted him with the allegation mid-round. He was told to leave the premises before finishing. That much multiple outlets, ESPN, CBS Sports, Golf Channel, Golf.com, have independently confirmed through their own sourcing. Now, here's where the story gets complicated, because this isn't simply a case of a club throwing out a member and that being the end of it. Mickelson's team disputes the framing entirely. His attorney, Tom Clare, a defamation lawyer, notably not a general counsel, has said there is a great deal of misinformation circulating and confirmed Mickelson has retained him specifically to hold accountable any publication or individual he believes is trafficking in speculation or false rumors. That is not a soft statement. That is a legal team putting the golf media on notice. And in the weeks since the original report, the story itself shifted in a meaningful way. Golf Digest's initial reporting characterized Mickelson as having been removed from the club. Clare pushed back hard on that characterization, and outlets including ESPN and Golf Channel later reported, citing Mickelson's own lawyer, that Mickelson resigned his membership rather than being formally expelled. Golf Channel even updated its original story to reflect that correction. Whether you call that a resignation under pressure or a voluntary exit depends entirely on which side of this you believe. But it's an important distinction, and it matters that the public record has already moved on it once. There's another piece that complicates the picture even further. The San Diego County Sheriff's Office confirmed it looked into the matter. Their statement was direct. Investigators made attempts to locate evidence to support a potential allegation of sexual assault, and at this time, they have not found evidence that an assault occurred. They also said they'd investigate further if given additional evidence, and encouraged anyone with information to come forward. That's not an exoneration. It's not a conviction either. It's an open file with a specific narrow finding, no evidence located yet, and that nuance matters in a story this serious. Mickelson's spokesperson, for their part, has stuck to a single line through all of this. Any misunderstanding has been cleared up. Phil continues to attend to a family health matter and is uncertain when he will be able to return to professional golf. Notice what that statement does not do. It doesn't deny the interaction happened. It doesn't offer an alternative account. It calls it a misunderstanding and moves on. Whether that's restraint on legal advice or something else, the public is left to read between the lines. And the timing only adds to how strange this all looks from the outside. Mickelson has barely been seen all year. He played just one LIV golf event in 2026, finishing tied for 48th in South Africa back in March. He withdrew from the Masters in early April, citing a private family health matter, and skipped the PGA Championship entirely. He wasn't in the field for the U.S. Open either, having run out of competitive exemptions for the first time in his career. He is still technically eligible for the Open Championship as a past winner, but even that remains uncertain. A 55-year-old, six-time major champion, essentially invisible for half a year, while his team repeats the same explanation without elaborating on it. What makes this moment hit differently than Mickelson's past controversies is the nature of it. The gambling story was about money. The insider trading story was about money and judgment. The Saudi comments were about politics and ambition. This is about a private allegation from a club employee, someone with far less power, far less protection, and far more to lose by speaking up than Mickelson ever did. And whatever the legal outcome, the fact that a club he belonged to for decades, in the city he calls home, chose to act on her report and not simply absorb the discomfort of confronting one of golf's most famous faces. That decision says something on its own. Augusta National has said nothing publicly since stripping his honorary status last year. The USGA didn't extend him a special exemption into this year's Open. The silence from golf's biggest institutions has been its own kind of statement. Phil Mickelson's lawyers are preparing for a legal fight. The sheriff's office says its file remains open. The club isn't talking beyond its original statement. And somewhere in the gap between a misunderstanding that's been cleared up and no evidence of assault has been located sits a story that is far from over for the player, for the woman who came forward, and for a legacy that win or lose in court may never look quite the same again.